Hey there. I want to welcome you all to the very first podcast ever dedicated to getting the Jersey Shore off the air. My name is Kyle Eads, and I want to thank you all for listening. Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, hey man, what's with the broken record you got going on here? We all know how terrible the show is and what it consists of, but there's nothing you can do as an individual to stop it. Well, I'm going to try. And for those of you out there who are none the wiser to the show and what it consists of, hopefully, my opinions on here can help educate you a little bit. Now, before we dive into topics here, I just want to be blunt and put a little disclaimer out there that this show is absolutely not about discussing how lame each cast member is on an individual level, because we already know how that is. This show is to shine light on what a plague to society this program has become. I want to stop the Jersey Shore and all shows that may come out in the future that are similar to it. Now, I know eventually these people will just fade away with time. Prime examples: cast members of past seasons of The Real World, past seasons of Big Brother. Where are they now? Exactly. But with the Jersey Shore, this isn't happening fast enough. The people have taken to them, and my job is to sway you away if you are a viewer. Now, earlier this evening, a friend of mine shared a link with me. Was the trailer for season 5 of Jersey Shore. And on this trailer, right at the end, about the last 20 seconds, you can see Snooki, I'm sure you're all familiar with her, standing in front of a mirror saying to herself, "I look like a Jersey skank, and I love it." Let me be the first to say, what the hell? Now, some people might actually try to defend this comment with saying, well, it's just a TV show. They're just doing to get higher ratings. They're just doing it for shock value. It is a reality show in 2011. Come on, man. Ease up. Wrong. Wrong. These people have been quoted on more than one occasion in saying that this is actually the lifestyle they live. They would be doing this stuff if there were no cameras. They'd be out there making fools of themselves, throwing their dignity right out the window. Sometimes I think these people forget that they're actually on television, just by their actions that I see. And whether you like it or not, when you're in a position that they're in, with the power they hold in popular culture in this country, you have a responsibility, whether you know it or not. As sad as these people act sometimes, I've accepted the fact that there are actually kids out there that look up to these people as role models. They want to be like that when they get older. And that kind of scares me. Because they're going to grow up and just think that this is acceptable behavior. And it is absolutely not. Where will it get you in your adult years? I've been asking myself this question a lot lately. What are these people going to do when the show is canceled and America gets sick of it? It will happen eventually. I'd like to make it happen sooner. But if I fail in this campaign, I know within the next few years people will get sick of it and it'll slowly just dissipate and be a distant memory of, oh yeah, remember that ridiculous show, The Jersey Shore? I'm glad that's gone. Where's the cast going to be then? Sure, they'll be able to live off their celebrity for a few years, doing commercials here and there, maybe a few movie appearances, but eventually they're just going to become irrelevant, like most reality stars. In 20 years, when they look back on this, when nobody remembers who they are, all they're going to have to remember is that they made jackasses of themselves, complete jackasses, on national television with so many people watching. And I hope in 20 years, when no one remembers their names, that they'll look back on the footage and just shake their head and be absolutely ashamed of themselves for the actions they took on that show. Sure, it was fun while I was doing it. I'm sure it was. But who cares? You contribute nothing to society. I take it back. I did a little research because I figured, with the status they have in the pop culture world, well, of course, maybe they contributed to some charities every now and then. And they did. Oh, they did. Recently read that Paulie auctioned himself off for a night with Pauly D. It was for a good cause, of course. I do believe it went to St. Jude's Cooking for Kids, which I read into it, and it's a really noble cause, and I support that 100%. But how much money does he have? How much money do they all have? Why are they holding charity events? Why aren't they donating money out of their pocket, money they earned, almost doing absolutely nothing? I take it back. They earn their money going out and getting drunk, making fools of themselves, having threesomes in the bathroom of a bar. Come on. It's not a movie. That actually happened. That was an episode that I actually forced myself to sit down and watch. And I was ashamed of myself after I watched it. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was pure disgrace. Oh, and let's not forget about Snooki and her great contributions to charities. She had to organize a fundraiser as part of her community service for being drunk and disorderly. That's always nice, doing charity work when you're being forced to by the state. That is very admirable. That is someone I look up to 100%. I'm joking. As you can tell, my sense of humor is outrageous. Now I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping this up here. This is the first podcast, so I'll keep it short and sweet. If you want more, you know where to find me. But I'm going to start trying to make this a regular thing. I'm going to try to end each show with a few questions directed at the cast. And for this one, it's basically just reiterating stuff I've already been asking a few times throughout the show. And I realize odds are I won't get a response. But I figure if I keep making enough shows and I keep getting enough support from you guys, that maybe we can make that happen. Maybe we can get them to answer one question. That would be amazing. Now, like I said, it's stuff that I've already touched on, but here's my two questions for the cast of the Jersey Shore. What kind of role models do you think you are? Because like I mentioned earlier, whether you like it or not, you are a role model. You're in a position of power whether you want to accept it or not. People look up to you, sadly. So I want to know what your response is to that. And my second is, what does your family think of your behavior on this show? I realize some of it's just kind of silly, but sometimes it goes a little too far, and I don't have children. I don't plan to for a while. So it's not really my place to say how your parents raise you. But let me just say, if you were my children, I'd be completely ashamed. If you were my children, no matter how much money you were making and giving me, I would disown you. I would deny any knowledge that you came from me. And that's straight from the heart. And I mean that 100%. Alrighty, folks, I'm going to wrap it up here. I want to thank you all for listening to this first podcast. First of many, I hope. And if you have any questions for the cast members of Jersey Shore that you'd like to one day have them answer, real questions, go ahead and email me at canceltheshore@yahoo.com. That's canceltheshore, all one word, at yahoo.com. Send me your questions. Send me your opinions. I'd like to have a discussion. I'd like to meet other people who are as passionate about hating the show as much as I am. I'm Kyle Eads. Thanks for listening.
We died, and everything is fine because it's not